Just start like this. All right. So, hey, Galski.
We're doing cash. That sounds good.
What's up? How's
Yo, dude,
Yo.
I'm living my best life. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. So, geez, I see nothing's really changed with the house.
Yeah,
studio
but
over there.
actually, technically, you're right. Now we're on video, so like, it's not just like technically there is a treadmill back there. Now, this was a gracious gift from Andrew's my roommate's new girlfriend, who was just like, no, you know what? I don't want to run. We're gonna let us run. So we actually have been using it. It's been pretty cool. So,
good shit. Good shit. Wow. Okay. Cool. You got the futon over there.
That's true. Yeah, we did that. We moved the futon.
We got that when we were there. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and then
that's true. It's true. Like,
right, cool,
well, we had it for a while. We just moved it there, and no one's sleeping on it. Yeah, or no one has been sleeping on it for a while. So I
know what you're talking about.
Exactly. You know what I'm talking about.
Good for you. Good for you. Nah, man. So I mean, I guess again, like I told you, it's nothing really casual about this, but yeah, this still, I figured we catch up. That's just the apartment over here, all this stuff over there, and it's basically like a little studio. I converted this whole thing into it. But yeah, now we're just,
I like it, man. I was gonna say, you got a nice Roku back there, a couple little picture frames. It's homey, you know.
Yeah, it's everything that was in the house over in my room over there at the house. But yeah, so it's basically same deal. And now I'm just talking to people. And I uploaded my first TikTok 2 days ago.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's a big step. All right, are you you weren't like shaking booty like all the girls do, right? Like, I mean, like you got your own swagger with that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I basically just started it because people were just like, you know, like doing the podcast before. You remember because we started it over there, and I was
exactly.
I was just doing the riot thing, rantcast thing, and then somebody was saying like, you need to do video, man. You need to create content on video, man. It's all
you're going virtual, dude. This is some good stuff. I mean, like, you're right. Just people just bored out there. Like, they're just gonna be watching us right now. It's good. It's good, and I'm glad that's where content's going.
And you know, it was funny. I was thinking about this last night too, and then I was like, well, we did this really before anyone else was doing it, or just as people were starting to do it when we were doing the screening room. Because I was thinking with screening room TV, the clips, all that stuff that we did was basically like ahead of the curve by like a year, right? And then when we graduated, everybody else.
We had like, you know, that a couple episodes, like had the team to do it together. By the way, and I was thinking about this like a week ago. Yeah. It's now like 8.5 years old.
Oh yeah, no, like that's insane.
Because like I'm thinking like 2013 is when this thing happened, and it's almost like November 2022 will be 9 years. And you're right, we were thinking about this stuff. We were thinking of this shit like in 2015. Yeah, 2015.
Yeah. Which is just when other people were. I think Joe Rogan was like just taking off at that point. I mean, he had been doing it a couple years. Yeah, but he became kind of like Joe Rogan we know today, more or less, like in 2015. And the video stuff and people going viral from there. And so I was just like, we were ahead of the game. I saw this coming a while ago.
I was gonna say we were definitely there since sliced bread. So like, like we made our own sliced bread.
We did,
and we get sliced bread,
and we get no accolades at all for like basically being. I mean, you do. Which I wanted to ask you about that. So yeah, I mean, for like being like media pathway made in Voyager.
Oh God, I was gonna say, like, even since like, I mean, I've been in the space. I'm even digging myself more into the space now more than ever, and it's fun. It's just like, I love the world of the internet. I love like what's coming out, the innovations of things, especially like the newest ones are AR, VR, metaverse, crazy things like that. And I won't even get started with NFTs. That's like an entirely different conversation.
Yeah, what is NFTs?
Oh God. freaking just like trying to buy apes on the internet that like you own digitally, non-fungible tokens, crypto. I mean, look, it's cool stuff, but that's like you find your favorite penguin or whatever, and it's or like favorite ape or whatever, and you're just like a millionaire. Apparently, that's the get up. It's more of like a get rich thing, but but
so wait, what?
Wait, so like I mean, people have seen this thing where like people like like buy like stuff on I don't know, OpenSea like the biggest one, and you can have like Ethereum, like like or Bitcoin. Mostly it's Ethereum, and you're just like like you're betting on artwork, or like you can own like the neon cat, or you can own like what other meme is out there or something like that. And then there's people who just draw apes and then they make like $1 million.
Really?
That's like the dumb version of it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I can tell you.
So that's how people
I will
get big now.
Yeah.
Make a meme.
Yeah. Apparently it's buying digital monkeys. I don't even know what we're doing. It's
that's going to be the title of the episode, by the way.
So like the world's crazy in this sphere, but that's why.
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect. We just figured it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, like the space itself is really, it's cool. And I'm keeping busy with it. A lot of the stuff, I mean, pretty much everything I'm doing is online or on some app or on some internet thing. And, it's between my marketing stuff, it's between doing production and like shooting things, and then also building a fashion app, which is really cool too.
Yeah. I guess that's a good way to start, because when last time we spoke we've spoken since, but like since you were on the podcast, since you were on the first one, you were initially on to talk about I was probing, a little bit like you were at NextCore at the time, and we were getting to know each other in that whole space. So that was cool. But like since then you left NextCore and then you started this QuickFit, which I was just reviewing the website on.
Right. So
funny.
Yeah, and I'm still doing like marketing things, but yeah, QuickFit is that's like the next thing I've been working. I've been on it for like a year, and like I'm doing more of the tech side. So like I got two partners, and the two partners, Sarah, Chris, really great people. They are very big in the fashion industry, and like they have like a lot of connections. They have a lot of just like knowing like what a styling experience is like. And the idea is just like take like fitting, let's say you're on Amazon and like you find a shirt that you like, you add it to cart, you pay whatever it is. But it's also this kind of like interesting notion that you're doing it in a virtual space. Like, don't go to the fitting room. Now here's a version of yourself in an avatar. Which is really funny. I was just like, I actually have part of the like work up on the other screen over here because I was just doing it before I hopped on this. And it's basically like, you build like a mannequin of yourself. Like you would like go to a store, you see like this like mannequin that's like including your height, weight, like skin tone, like specs about you. Right now, just in a 2D space, we'll get to 3D eventually. And let's say you find that same shirt. Now it's kind of like augmenting it onto your body, so you can kind of see the shirt, see the pants, and like and then like buy not just the like you're buying the fit, you're buying like the style, so it's just like a cool tool you can use and like find some of your favorite brands online and just
so it's like
play around with it.
All right, so if I'm on I'm just trying to like get an idea. So if I'm on like if I'm a woman, I'm going on like bloomingdales.com or something, I can like just like instead of see some outfit I like, you can have an avatar and it would just like put it on the avatar and you get a vibe for what that would look like.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, can I actually show something on here? We're on Zoom. I could like share it a little bit.
Yeah, sure. If you want. Sure. We've never done this before.
Oh, wait. Actually, no, I can't. That's all right. But like maybe it'll be some reference to the website or whatever. What was I going to say? Yeah. So basically you're right. Like if you're a girl, like you're going to Bloomingdale's or whatever it is, we're trying to keep it also pretty gender neutral too. And like everything like that. But you can, like find like your favorite styles, your favorite clothes, colors. Let's say you're going for fitness wear versus like business attire, right? Like it can kind of categorize and find stuff for you. And then, it creates just like a easier shopping experience where like you get to like see the fit and then you're just buying it like you would any other e-commerce store. So
Oh, cool. So wait,
Yeah,
that's interesting. So what were you interested in this from like the purely the tech side of it?
yeah,
Or
because
were
like
you not from the fashions? I wouldn't think of you as like always like a
I'll tell you
fashion
this,
cat.
I this goes into some fun, like a little bit personal stuff, but like, I will say this. No, I really went into it for the tech side. I did. But then I realized I appreciated more of the fashion side because I was working on a fashion app, because this is the personal side. I sucked, and I say sucked in past tense, at fashion and wearing clothes. And then I realized I did this, and I'm like, you know what? I do appreciate this, and I feel more confident in it, and it's good. Um, I was wearing like graphic tees and like gym shorts and like dumb stuff. And I would like just like, Tom, you know about this. Like, I just didn't have a certain appreciation for it. And like now I'm just like, all right, I like the shirts I wear, and like it's a whole thing like that.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
it's good.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, we were basically stuck inside our houses for like
That's
a
true. We're also
year.
yeah.
And then but even before that, no, I remember you like doing like well-dressed Wednesdays or stuff like that. You did that.
Yeah, but I guess I'm like more into it now, and like Sarah, who's Sarah and Chris, actually got to give both of them credit. They both took me out on like different occasions to the local mall, right? And they just they're just like helping me like try on like different shorts and things I would not typically wear, and I'm like, ooh, this, I'm not sure, this is not something I would pick. But then when I wore it, I'm like, oh, this is cool. So like, I just really, it's just like enlightening, like what happens with fashion, and it kind of like made me more passionate about doing the project. So it's awesome. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and you probably told me this before, but I forget it. Just maybe some context for like, for anyone who is listening. Yeah. Like, so how did you meet these two? They were both from Hofstra, or you were looking for another?
Well, venture? One of them was from Hofstra. Like it's okay. Yeah. So like Sarah and I go like way back, like I think like 8 years or something like that, like a long time. And we met at college, and we always like saw each other at like alumni events and things. And like we also do like help with the alumni association at Hofstra. So it's, sometimes we're like, we're just really friendly people. We just network, connect with a lot of people. And then it just kind of came across where, Sarah was with Chris, and like they're really, really good friends. And Chris, actually, I'll say Chris had like a really, the brilliant idea of like the virtual closet and QuickFit and all this stuff. And then Sarah's just like, who do we get to build it? And thought of me. And I'm just like, yeah, I built apps. Like, this is cool. And brought me on. And like, yeah, as I kind of saw this, I'm like, you know what, let's just like build from a partnership standpoint too. So like all of us are owners. And we're just like investing into like making a really cool like proprietary thing. So yeah, mostly like Chris definitely had the brainchild. Sarah just made it reality. We all did, and it's just been great from there. And we're about to launch in a month.
Oh, wait! You had your launch party.
We had a beta launch party.
Beta launch. Oh,
so like that's what like yeah, like now it's like something like on the phone, but launch will be April 1st. Yeah, exactly.
No, I was breaking your chops about that. I know what beta is, testing it out and everything like that. But no, that was
exactly.
Cool. And how was that event? I mean, because again, I'm heartbroken, honestly.
Oh right, I know. I sent you an RSVP for it.
Yeah, and then somebody tested positive for COVID, and I didn't think you guys would want me there.
The ultimate peak of Omicron, ladies and gentlemen. I
so much for that.
It was pretty much everyone and their freaking like best friend, like everyone and their friends was just like, well, I can't do anything. I mean, yeah, like we literally threw a party like a week prior to Christmas, which was an insane amount of Omicron cases. And like somehow no one got COVID there. Everyone was totally fine. We got very lucky. But like, no, of course we were safe, and it was good. It was a good turnaround or turnouts. Like 100 people showed up, and like we got like raffle tickets and sponsor stuff, and it's really good. It was, and we were left with 24 probably bottles of Stella to bring back to our house, and I'm just like, I think we still have it, just to drink, because they helped sponsor it, like the Stella and like what was it, Anheuser-Busch, right? So like they own it, and and they just bring like all the beer, and we're just like, great. And then we're just left with it afterward. We're like, cool. So that was a perk.
So where are you putting that? You putting that in the refrigerator or?
Oh yeah, it's just on the refrigerator, like all of it.
Okay, because I'm picturing like a lot. You having like cases.
I'm just saving up for Fridays, like I just like pop 1 or 2 out every Friday, and that's fine. Like for the rest of the year at this point.
Shit.
But it was a good event. It was really fun. No, and just good exposure too. That was like the first like public thing, so that was awesome.
Yeah, no, dude. So that's pretty dope. Jeez. And this is gonna be on apps, I would imagine.
Yeah. iOS, Android, April 1st. And no, it's not some weird April Fool's joke, guys. Like that would be really funny. We were you hear it exclusively here on this podcast, but we were thinking about this actually from a marketing thing, and we're just like, you know what? What if we just say that, like, hey guys, we just decided to give up on the app. There's no app, and then the next day on April 2nd, we're just like, hey, download it on iOS and Android.
Yeah. Oh, just go like psych, and then
just be like psych. Oh, we were kidding. Don't worry, we didn't just waste a whole year of our lives. It's fine. It's okay.
I'd be hilarious if you literally just
like really pull the shit out of everyone.
Just rededicate someone who really has nothing else going on. They just spend their like an entire year making a company.
You can make a good comedy sketch just out of that. Be like, hey, my friend, like tried to launch an app, and a year later he fooled everybody.
Well, I was thinking more like if a guy who's like, this is such a brilliant company that's going to change the world, and then they're just like, the world doesn't deserve it.
The world doesn't deserve the awesomeness that is QuickFit.
Yeah, because you'll get those.
But I actually do think they do.
Well, I think they will. But I was just like, you'll have these artistic types, which I don't think really exist a lot anymore. But like, people will be like, write great novels and then not publish them because the world doesn't deserve them. This is like, thinking of like
it's just for, I think that's the funniest thing ever. It's just like, it's just for my eyes, like the world doesn't deserve like anything else. Like I built it for me. It's like, okay, but didn't you want to like sell it to people? Like no, just for me. It's just for me. By the way, I don't know why that reminded me of this, but I actually I do have a funny story. So I'm like looking at this like medal on my desk, right? And like, obviously if you're watching the video, you guys can see it. It just says winner.
Yeah, winner. Yeah.
And so this is the first time I ever won a raffle lottery in my life. And it was funny. Someone was just like, oh, like we're raffling off $100, which is this, by the way, but it's chocolate coins. And I'm like, well, that's not $100. That's some chocolate. And then he's like, yeah, you're a winner. Congrats. I'm like, well, I don't know why it just made me think of that, but
no, it's a good segue. I was talking to a comic friend of mine on the episode that dropped yesterday, Crenshaw. We were talking about like $100. I don't know how we got into this, but like how a
interesting
guy I used to work with in California. This was when I was working at a movie theater out there, and he got fired after kind of like a long run in, but his name is Bruce Blood. He kind of looked like the butler in the Addams Family. He was bald and kind of creepy looking, and all right, portly, and a kind of a chubby guy. Anyway, just to set the scene, he was a character, but he was at the box office, and a guy handled him $100 bill. And we have some like protocol, like we check out to make sure it's legit. Anyway, whether he did it or not, he didn't do a good job, because it even was printed on the on it saying for motion picture use only, and it had like a goofy Franklin saying like a goofy face, like something like that,
Oh, sure. Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah, and then so he got fired because he didn't check out that. It was clear as day, like, and
okay.
Made me think of like you could have done that too. Yeah.
Okay, that's you really definitely fool some people like that. Okay, interesting.
I love that.
I actually do have an interesting $100 story that's like a positive one, which is cool.
You could be positive. It's cool. I just want to see how many episodes I can go telling this story.
It's a repeated occurrence, guys. Like it's well, I'll add to the $100 stories by getting another $100 when I went to, and then I don't know, like we could definitely talk about Florida more, but like this has happened in Florida.
Oh, cool.
And I was with my aunt and uncle, really cool. And like, we're like, all right, we went to go and get, we were just gonna have like a movie night or something. And we're just gonna like get a bunch of like Eggo waffles and like syrup and ice cream and like just like very unhealthy shit. And
Not
all of a
cool.
sudden I'm just like, cool, I have $1. And like I saw a scratch off and I'm like, give me that scratch off. And then I like scratch it there in front of the cashier and it actually becomes $100. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
for sake of luck. And I'm like, out of all places, though, we were in a Publix.
The grocery store.
Like the grocery store. And I'm like, why does this happen in Florida? I don't know. It's a very interesting place for this to happen. But sure, I'll take $100. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I could walk into a Publix ever again and have that much of an epic experience like that experience.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know why someone's giving out free $100 bills, but that'd be hilarious.
I'm telling you, the lottery, man. I don't know. Everyone's retiring down there, so that's probably they're like, hey, there's extra stuff. Let's get some very winnable scratch off tickets, and that's it. So.
Yeah, you know, Johannes is still down there.
I mean, like, what's he? Is he doing like politics stuff? Like,
kind of. He works at a law firm, and he's been there for a while, and then he is going to go to law school, and I don't know whether or not he's taken the LSAT yet, or he's been trying to do that, so he'll be in law school soon. But yeah, no, he's down in Orlando, and yeah, you should call him.
Isn't Mandela down there too, or like?
He was, and then he moved back to DC. I think he's going to some.
I think he went back to DC.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, we should. Right, yeah, but first we definitely should call Johannes. But like the second one was, Mandela. When did I talk to him? I don't know. New Year's. I think he just wished me like a happy New Year, and I'm like, great, like things are good. Oh yeah, he was talking about coming to New York here in like July, and I'm like, great. I haven't seen this guy in so long, and it's still really funny because I have his face as your contact photo in my phone.
Oh yeah, I remember you did that.
You remember that? So I always just get some reminder of Mandela, even when I don't think I need it, but I just do anyway because I set it up like that. So
I remember you did that. I totally forgot, but yeah, I remember you did that. That's funny. Did you tell him?
Oh, he knew. He literally saw me doing it while we were in person. I'm like, I took these 3 pictures of him like with different face impressions, and I was just like, okay, here's one for you, here's one for Tommy, here's one for Johannes, and just went like that. So
yeah, no, that's funny. No, I haven't spoken.
It's like he knows.
Yeah, I haven't spoken to him.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you talked to him last.
Well, you know, I'll hit him up from time to time, like, and then you know he doesn't return the calls, and but we.
Oh man.
Well, he'll respond because Johannes Mandela and I are on a chat on Messenger, and we still talk. So we still talk just about like ask questions about like, you know, like certain movies that were coming out and whatever, you know, like Mandela, what do you think of this?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I'll try to just get a rise out of him sometimes and just go like, yo, Mandela, is there a little Kanye in all of us? And he goes like,
deep in my soul. Like, yeah, I mean, sometimes you just gotta like.
Well, you remember how what a big Kanye West fan he was, right?
Of course, yeah.
It's a trick question. He wasn't. So he yeah, so every time he would just like, I don't think you would remember this, but
I thought, oh yeah, right. It's been a while.
Yeah, I realize that. I know. It's just things that I remember that are just like cornerstones about him. Oh, really? He never did that on the screening room. I figured he was on a rant.
That's true. Yeah, I'll tell you this. Like the one thing I remember, and this just seems like a nice like Mandela hangout. And for anyone listening, I mean, this is like one of our like really dear friends.
Yeah.
Because you're like, who the heck is this guy? We've been talking about him for like 5 minutes. Like it's like this guy. We go back. And like, no, I saw him in Tampa last time, and I think it was Tampa. Like he came up here once, and I went down to him once. So like I think it was Tampa, and I don't know. We just like had a night. We got beer. We didn't even get any. Oh no, wait, sorry. We got IHOP first. That was the most important part. I forgot. Got to start there. And we're just like, oh, that's tons of stuff in Tampa. What are we doing? We're doing IHOP. Great. That's started the trend. Then you get some beer, and then we just play games, and then it was a good time. But whatchamacallit? Yeah, he was like doing that, working at like NBC down there and stuff. And what was it? Yeah, he's just like doing a solo thing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be like one of the friends that comes down to visit. So
oh yeah. Anyway, yeah, it'd be good to see him. Hope he comes through at one point.
I hope so too.
Yeah, apparently he's going to DC and or at least he's been in DC and doing some kind of like grad school. I think just basically to do this. Which
right. No, like podcast stuff or like radio and stuff like that.
I think the radio thing, you'd have to talk to him, but I think the radio thing, and then just to get positioned, because I mean you were fortunate to go your own way with the entrepreneurship with starting NextCore, and you brought on Dylan, and you guys been working with you ever talk to him anymore, Dylan?
Yeah, I do once in a while. Yeah, no, like we're still like in touch and stuff, and he's definitely kind of like doing a lot of like big e-commerce plays and like things on the side of like data analytics, like kind of like growing e-commerce brands and things like that across the board. And me, I just kind of like gone on the creative side, and like I just love like production side and like the creativity. Right now, like I'm in between like 4 different like production projects all at once, about to be 6 next week. It's very, very interesting. And it's just cool. It's just like concept of creating content, and what's fascinating is like there's kind of like a mix of both, because like and you and I get it, we know the film side, right? So like we know filmmakers' life and like making narrative storytelling, short films, like all this stuff, and then there's like the advertising side, which is definitely like harmonizing, coming in between too, because people are like trying to promote their business or like show a product off or like do things like that. So I'm involved with just like the creative process, getting the right people and the minds together, also putting my marketing input in, of course, and just making something come to life like that. So it's got just purpose. So I like having both sides, where it's like it's always content, but sometimes it could be very creative stuff, which is what I love very dearly. And then there's whatchamacallit, and then like I said, the marketing side's always been a good thing. Even well, because our buddy Alessandro came here. He actually just shot, or we're in post-production still and everything, but we just shot a film with him last month.
Well, yeah, that was the one you were doing at the Tiny Cupboard, right?
Tiny Cupboard in Brooklyn.
How'd you like that place? Sorry to keep you sidetracked by one while it
was very tiny.
Where were you in there?
In the Tiny Cupboard, or like
which room?
Well, I mean, it's like a small like hole in the wall place, like and I mean, we were in shots, we were like extras and stuff, like, so I was in it and whatnot, but we were we had the main stage, we had like a couple extras and like our camera crew, and we just shot like the comedy scene we needed to do, and it was cool. I loved the place.
So you weren't in, it's what they called the mushroom, you weren't in like this little literally a closet, but you were actually where it had like, it was pink and they had like church pews.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's called the church. Yeah. That I was talking before.
Got it. Yeah, we had the whole church or the whole venue.
Yeah, because that place used to start.
But it was really cool. It was. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, because that place initially started. Cause you might be interested in the background of it. I didn't go there like pre-COVID, because and not a lot of people did. But it was literally just a little like looked like a broom closet, a big broom closet, but a broom closet, and that's why they called it the Tiny Cupboard. That building is a just like a generic artist's rent a spot. And then when COVID happened, that's
really cool, actually.
Yeah. So that entire building has a bunch of things going there. Like, for instance, I think you and I or you or Andrew or anybody else we knew could have probably rented out a room there to like do auditions for a movie, maybe. Example.
That's interesting. Yeah.
But
that makes sense. Yeah, I guess they changed it a little bit then.
Well, what happened was they took the roof at one point and they were putting on shows up in the roof, and it became like a big cultural thing. And I was even thinking of Dylan when you mentioned that, because I remember that's the last time I saw him. He was there coming to a show also. But they did it on the roof, and it was in like Time Out New York. as a one big cultural thing.
Oh, okay.
For people to do in New York during the lockdowns, and when I say lockdowns, I mean like at a point where it was people were still doing stuff, but the city wasn't fully reopened.
Right. Yeah, it's still like kind of like hiatus and stuff. Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, and then they called it, and it was like the church was just in that bigger space too that they got as well. They just called it the church, but cool. No, glad you guys enjoyed that.
It was cool. Like honestly, I love the venue. It was really I mean, it was actually just the perfect amount of space, especially when we're doing the film, and it was really it was fascinating. We got this incredible girl named Lara who's like SAG actress, like just like nailed it. Great with impressions, because the whole thing is called Last Impressions, and she does like these like really awesome like impressions on stage, and she does like a Jennifer Coolidge and like a Severus Snape and like a bunch of other ones,
impressions. Or
like I'm a Christopher Walken. Don't judge me, I suck at them anyway. But you know what I mean, like stuff like that. And but no, I mean that's been a cool project to do, and like I know he's doing like stuff with that, and then we also like are working or finalizing a horror flick that we did in Sleepy Hollow in October, which is really cool. So that was called Gateway Eyes, which is like this whole thing. It's just like very like, I don't want to call it like thrasher horror, but it's like, it was just like really cool, like overnight shoots during October, like the spookiest month of the year, or whatever. And that was just fun. We all just like basically stayed in this like 1870s house, and we're just like shooting for 2 nights until 6 a.m. And then it's coming out pretty good.
Wow. You guys really have been busy.
Cool. A little bit, yeah. So like it's been fun. No, but what's cool is like me specifically, I've been on like like assistant directing a lot, which has been really cool, and I'm enjoying like that role because it's all about like time checking, keeping things on track, and like a bunch of things. And it's I always like to make sure something's running well, and like like I do with my businesses. I'm just like, let's do this for the film shoot, and we're just having fun, and it's just nice. Like I will also say this, speaking about productions though, and this would be an interesting one for the audience here, is when I went to Italy. So now I don't know, Tommy, if I told you a lot of this story or a little bit of the story, but like,
I think you gave me like I don't know if we ever, no, because I think we went to 88 Spa.
Yeah, we were like we were on Wall Street or something like that.
That was before that, right? Because that was the last time we hung out.
I think it happened after we hung out there.
Yeah, so I think that happened. All right, yeah. So tell me the whole story. So you got
shit. Okay, so here we go. We got time. So like, basically, I was there for a film shoot. Really cool. We were doing this like YouTube stuff for like the chef in New York, and he's Italian, and there's like a bunch of people over there. He was becoming a white truffle night, and what that means is basically, if you know what black and white truffles are when it comes to Italian food, it's delicious and expensive. Mostly the white truffles are expensive, but it was season. We were over there. We had some incredible food. We shot for an entire week.
Yeah.
Just like Verona, Milan, Alba, all this stuff, like Friuli, bunch of northern Italy, Italian region, countryside.
Yeah, I was going to say countryside, not the city.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. And it was good until I got COVID.
Yeah.
So, apparently, by the way, I didn't even get COVID in Italy. I went to Slovenia for a day to go to a wine vineyard right next to Italy, and I got COVID there.
Oh.
So I was sitting there. It's like, I'm about to fly back home. They come from the pharmacy. We're doing our tests or whatever. And they're like, hey, they're like slowly backing away from us. And they're just like, hey, you're positive for COVID. You can't leave the country. And I'm like, wait, what? So this is November. Wait, what?
No. I was going to say, so where were you going exactly? Were you going home or
we were trying to go back to New York? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're in Italy, and like, we're trying to go back to New York, and we can't, because like you need to have a negative test or whatever. And we're sitting there, and we're like, it's November 15th. Now keep in mind the timeline here. And we're like, okay, we can't go anywhere. So what apparently they have something called the Ministry of Health, which is like their CDC. And like they reached out to us, they spoke English, which is fine. they're just like, okay, so you have COVID, so you're gonna have to stay in this like COVID hotel, sponsored by the government, stuff like that. They have a public healthcare system out there. And, so like, they're like, go to this hotel and report to this hotel. And we're like, okay, fine. It's like an hour away. And then we're like, you're going to stay here until you feel better. And like, legitimately, I did have like symptoms for like 3 days. I lost my taste. It was kind of weird. I think this was the Delta variant at the time.
Okay.
But nor did I know that once we went to this hotel, first of all, separate rooms. I was there with me, my buddy Andrew. Mm-hmm. We had separate rooms. They were like 12 foot by 12 foot, right? We had a balcony. That was like the one thing of fresh air we could do.
Okay.
But we could not leave this room at all. We could not. Like, we had the balcony and that's it. Like, we could not leave these quarters. And it turned out to be 21 days long that we were stuck there. Mm-hmm. So that's because we kept testing positive. And like, the symptoms were gone after 3 days. We were like, no symptoms for out of 21 days, 18 of them. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I feel normal. Why can't I go home? And they're like, just like, no, it's positive. It's positive. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you're sitting in a room, just like, you can't leave anywhere. Although there was a lot of bugs too. And like, like weird stuff. And it just was not sanitary. And I'm sure. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
But so you were stuck in this place, because I've heard they got something like that too in New York. There was a comic I know that was in place in Queens, and it's basically a little hotel room that they designated for COVID people, because people tested positive for COVID, but they had roommates, blah blah blah. So that's pretty shitty. So these were rapid tests or like the full on like PCR?
Oh no, PCRs. Yeah, they were PCRs. Okay. So well, they did a rapid first, and then like immediately when we walked in, they're like PCR, and like we were sick, like, so it was definitely COVID. So it was,
yeah. I'm just wondering. I was like,
but
okay,
like,
so you got the full on, but you got the full on tests afterwards. So weird that it stayed in your system that long.
Well, I mean, they kind of say like it can, like, PCRs are interesting. I won't go into the science of it. It's a whole nother conversation, but it's just that, sometimes, you may not be contagious, but it could sit in your system for months, like, and that's the whole point. And, the Italian government, they're very strict. They got hit very hard back in the day. And they're just like, look, as long as you test positive, you're staying around. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, oh my gosh, like, I feel normal. Like, this is so strange.
Right. It's just so weird.
Yeah, and it's public there, so like, you have to wait for tests to be approved by the government. You can't just like, pull out an insurance card and be like, hey, give me a test. Or they didn't have at-home ones as much like they do now, but
right.
But yeah, like, it was kind of crazy. And the thing too, we were in the middle of farmland, so like, if you're here in New York and you get it, you could DoorDash stuff, you can like have someone bring you something. And I'm sitting here in a foreign country. I don't know jack diddly squat any people around here. And there's no DoorDash over there. There is no Grubhub or Uber Eats. And like, you have to sit there and they give you food. It basically felt like premium prison.
Premium prison.
Yeah. Like, they didn't take care of us, but it's just like, I can't really leave this room. And it's interesting.
So what did you do all those times?
What did I do? Now, thank God I had a computer. Oh my gosh. Thank God we had Wi-Fi. So we could watch movies. I could do work. I could do this stuff. And like, the sucky thing is I missed Thanksgiving. And like, my uncle had passed away when I was like there too. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah. It's just crazy stuff. It's all adding up. And like, I also just got into a relationship, like, just like 2 weeks prior to this trip. And Tommy, you know who this is. Yeah. And like, I'm sitting there and like, and like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh great, new relationship with Haley, who's my girlfriend. And and now I'm stuck here for a month, and now I'm gonna virtually see you like every day for like, like, it's a whole weird dynamic, really weird. How I had to go through that, but yeah, just like a lot of things, just, that's what you could do in the room, and then work out in the room, and then just like sit outside and watch like the mountains and the day go by. And that was it.
Did you feel, I mean, you said there was like premium prison. So I was going to say, did you feel like you were in prison, or like, what was it emotionally like? I mean, obviously it's terrible, but did you initially like feel fear and like sadness? Like, what was the?
No, not fear. No, it was not fear, because like I was in a place I knew like I was being food and shelter, but sad, very sad. It's just like, yeah, wow, I didn't expect this to happen to me, kind of thing. That happened for like the first day, and then I got over it. I'm like, well, this is gonna be my reality now, so I have to stick with it.
Yeah.
And like, and it worked. Like I had support from family, friends, and me and Andrew would talk across the balcony and stuff, and like catch up like every day. And
so you were in separate spots.
So separate rooms, but like we could walk outside the balcony and like see each other, which is cool, but from a distance, and stuff like that. But yeah.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. And like, I mean, and it's interesting because like they would give food, and like they would like bring food to your doorway and then knock on your door and walk away, and then you just like pull it in, and that's it. You just couldn't leave the room at all. And yeah, like I learned the space just so much after that point. So it's just like, yeah.
Did you like, cause I'm getting like feelings, because I remember too, you wrote a very long,
I did. I reflected on it. Yeah.
Yeah. That was very sweet. And I remember there was that picture of you in isolation. And I thought, oh, cool. He's kind of got Nelson Mandela vibes when he was like in
it kind of felt like that.
Yeah, man. So like, I guess out of that, like, what, anything changed anymore? Because you're like a self-reflexive guy, and you try to look at the positive sides of things and get something out of it. Like
I actually did. Here's the positive side is that I was going a million miles an hour, and I had to slow down, and like this was the way to slow down. Literally, like no social life, no city vibes, nothing like that. Just like it's you and your spot. And yes, you can WhatsApp your friends and family and stuff, but at the end of the day, it just like really made me appreciate life in the very basic sense, especially when you live here in the city and you're just running around all the time, and like it's the vibe here. So yeah, it's definitely, it was definitely like good, and like like it's definitely like just slow down moments, like smell the flowers, appreciate life, like appreciate that you're alive, things like that. Those were the biggest takeaways. And thank God the sickness did not last for like weeks, because I know people who have lost their taste for weeks. They've been sick for weeks, and I'm like, you know what? Thank God I was vaccinated. This is good. Yeah. I went through, and when I got home, oh my gosh, like what a beautiful thing. I mean, I sat there, and like, of course, like we're all talking, and we're just like, all right, coming back to the house here. What's the first thing you want to eat? Now I'm just like, I want a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich on a bagel. And this is funny because alluding to the first podcast, we were talking about bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches. So I'm bringing it back up. But all the more because like I was just like, I want a greasy food. I sat there and had pasta for a month straight. For a month, and I had boycotted it for like another month after that. I could not have pasta because that's what they fed me in the COVID hotel. That's what I ate when I was in freaking like the northern Italy, whatever it is.
Yeah, of course.
And I was tired of it. I'm like, no, I can't.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that was a time. So I was like, yes, greasy food. Thank you. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, no, it's so funny. And heads up too, like the episode that I dropped yesterday, which was the first guest I had on in a while too. Yeah, I titled it "Salt, Pepper, and Eggs," because we were talking about bodegas and.
Oh, good. Yeah,
because the guy was initially from. Anyway, I thought you would appreciate that because I was.
I do appreciate that. That's like my favorite breakfast ever.
Oh, I don't want to like totally like.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I had a thought that I wanted to ask him, but let me just wrap this up. But okay, so that's pretty crazy. So like you come back and then you're hanging out with Peter and Andrew and everybody, and and yeah, I guess. Wow. Well, first of all, I'm glad you're okay and everything worked out fine.
Thank God. Absolutely.
I
don't wish that for anyone, honestly. Like, I mean, like for quarantine and that much, especially against like your own will, it's just that's a tough one. I understand when you're sick and you need to do that, but when you're not sick, that's a lot.
Oh yeah. I was feeling bad for I mean, what was it like? When COVID initially hit, I was like, I went down to my parents' place because they had that big piece of land and it was a good place just to like not, you remember that. But for people who had to like, who were like single, who were living alone, like that must have been god awful. Just the whole, God damn, that's just, jeez.
Yeah, no, it's definitely this thing is definitely been impactful in many ways. That was at least just my take on it, and everything. But it's it's and here was a crazier part. I forgot to mention this too. When we were there, keep in mind this is a COVID hotel, right? But what do hotels? What are they supposed to have? They're supposed to have laundry machines. They did not have laundry machines there. So I sat there. I was like, I'm gonna be on a 1-week trip to Italy, which turned to be 4 weeks at that point. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, great. So I was like, can they take my clothes? Can they do this? And they're like, no, we don't want to touch it. It's COVID. I'm like, okay, fine. So I'm sitting there with the same clothes. I'm throwing underwear inside out. I'm throwing shirts inside out. And like, that was week 2. And then I'm sitting there week 3. I'm like, I'm still not out of here. This is disgusting. What can you do to help us?
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know. I didn't even know that. So that's that's
so like I'll just show you that was like a big turn off. I mean, let me see if I can find a picture. But yeah, basically, they gave us clothing, but it made me look like a where is it? I'm gonna pull up on my phone. But like basically like this, and like for people who are viewing, it's just like gowns, like nursing gowns.
I saw that. Yeah, I was like he was like in like windows.
Makes you like a psych ward or something.
Yeah. You were like in the psych ward. You had to wear. Wow.
Yeah, like that's just like me sitting there, like thinking.
That's where I got like the Nelson Mandela.
That's a Nelson Mandela kind of like vibes. Shot. Yeah, exactly.
Just like the reflection in solitary. Yeah, no, that was awful. Damn. So did they have laundry and you didn't, and they just didn't want to touch your clothing?
Like they gave us nursing gowns because like they clearly switched out nursing gowns every day for like the nurses who were checking up on us like every day. Yeah, they had some, but it was just like there was like one pair of jeans and shirt that they gave us eventually. But like I was really relying on those nursing gowns, like and like just using those, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was crazy.
Damn.
Yeah. So like we used that, and then I have a pair. I brought one home just as like a memorabilia piece because like I'm never gonna forget that. Yeah, I did. Like I actually did.
Yeah. Oh, geez, memorabilia.
Yeah. I will. You're gonna sit there and put it in a chest and be like, hey, here's my capsule. Like
No, I mean, I can't imagine having been in an experience like that. So maybe that's something that I just love that you called it memorabilia.
Yeah, nostalgia piece. Whatever.
Nostalgia usually is something that you look forward to going back to, but like
actually that's a good point. Yeah, I was like,
no, but I get it. You go through this this deep, terrible time, and so you would want something to just remember that by. No, I get it, but it's just funny. Memorabilia is something you usually describes when they got Mickey Mantle's baseball.
Yeah, you're right. It's supposed to be more like a good thing, but like this is supposed to be just kind of like a reflection piece, a piece of art.
Okay. So one thing I was going to ask, I had a thought of, was that have you ever had a chopped cheese? You're a lifelong New Yorker.
Chopped cheese?
Chopped cheese.
I mean, I've chopped cheese before, but like,
I
don't know.
So what do you think it is?
Chopped cheese.
Yeah.
I don't know, like cheese you put in a chopper, like mozzarella, that gets chopped. Like, you like throw it on a pizza. Chop. That's what I think it is.
Okay. So what it is essentially not that. It's a sandwich. And
okay, I'll be definitely mistaken on this one. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was. And, I've been in and out of New York my whole life too. So I figured I would come about it across at one point. No, it's a sandwich that you get at a bodega. It was basically a Philly cheesesteak without the steak meat. It's chopped up Angus beef. But it was found. You can only get them at a bodega in the cities, and you basically they toast the sub roll. They put like mayo and ketchup, lettuce, tomato, like iceberg lettuce and tomato. And,
right, that makes sense.
And salt, pepper, and Angus beef mixed up with American cheese, and that's a sandwich.
That's really nice. Ooh, that sounds like really, really nice.
Oh, and sauteed onions, yeah.
Oh, that sounds so heavenly.
I love that. No, yeah. So I was like just wondering, it's like, I guess it's a city thing because you're from Long Island. So, and
I mean, no, genuinely, I've never heard of it before, but that just sounds like a whole bunch of deliciousness and artery clogging. But that sounds great.
Well, I haven't had one at a bodega yet, but I got the ingredients and I made it at home. It's kind of crazy, nutty actually.
That's right. So, I mean, if I just wanted to, I could just like look up chopped cheese. Like if I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah. Look it up.
So chopped cheese near me.
Interesting.
Okay.
If they wouldn't do it at Bagel Oasis, but yeah.
No, like that. I mean, the cheapest sandwich ever, chopped cheese. Oh, very interesting. Okay, so like they say, like found in bodegas, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, made on a grill, ground beef, onions, topped with melted cheese. All right, so it kind of like just seems like a Philly cheesesteak, but like a little bit more stuff. Like,
yeah, just Angus beef and cheese. Jesus.
I really wonder. Well, there's a chopped cheese deli. There is like a brick and mortar over here. I'm looking at it, but
they have a deli.
I see one on here, chopped cheese deli in like Manhattan, like above Central Park. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, I think it was founded by a couple of cats in the Bronx.
This is really cool.
But the no, it was just the shit was originated in the city. So yeah, no, go next time you're in Manhattan, go to a bodega.
Check that out. That sounds good.
Yeah, I feel like you, Andrew, and Peter will get a ball out of it. Maybe Alessandro too. I don't know his taste buds. He sounds very Italian. So the
right.
But no, I just wanted to bring that up because no one seems to know what that was, and I thought it was literally just cheese that you chop up.
I have like a whole food list running with for me, so I'm going to have to definitely like save that one in my handy dandy to-do list of food adventures.
Yeah. By the way, how was the dieting and exercising going?
It's actually good. I mean, not just the fact that we have a treadmill back there, but it's actually really good. I mean, I'll tell you this, when I was in Italy, I lost 10 pounds just in quarantine.
Oh, well,
yeah.
You're eating like more natural food, like
well, that's true. I mean, Italy's definitely got like good, like organic stuff. But I was also just saying from quarantine, cause like I didn't really eat that much and wasn't exerting so much energy. So it's like, stuff like that. But no, but I mean, since like last year, like definitely lost like 40 pounds. Like I definitely like am down and like it's good. I feel like good energy. I'm still at it. Like, and we're eating healthier, no more fast food runs, like maybe once in a while, but like not as often as you think. And but it's good.
Yeah, I feel it. No, I'll do one day a week where I like will get
just ball out, just like fucking whatever.
But the rest of it, no, cool. Yeah, I saw a picture of Peter. Well, he was doing his play and he looked pretty good.
He's gone through the most like change and everything. He's a very interesting like metabolism because like he'll sit there and like he's like decelerating his weight faster than any of us combined. And I'm just like, wow, man, like your body is like you're like like he definitely had some heavy set, but like he just like brought it back and was like it's incredible now. Like
he no, I saw a picture of it. He looks good. So tell him to keep it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could tell him that too, but it's just you see him all the time.
I kind of. He's like right over there, so I can
he's right. He's on the couch. He's
right on the couch over there. It's fine. Like, but like it's but he's definitely been through like a lot of great progress and stuff, and we all have honestly.
Yeah, no, good shit, man. Good shit. No, that's good. Don't get me wrong. Like those, like I remember you guys introduced me to like I was about to say Long John Silver's. No,
not even close. Well, I mean, like I'm trying to think. We've done like what Arby's runs,
Arby's, White Castle, IHOP, obviously.
Dude, I haven't been to an IHOP in so long.
Why?
I don't know. I usually love IHOP. Like I don't know. I've been slacking, but like shit.
Yeah, it's
didn't you have like an IHOP counter on like your phone being like the last time I went to IHOP was like a year ago or something?
No, it was I have a really good memory. So it's like I can remember like, oh, I remember last time I was here was October 2nd, 2018.
Sure.
And then I just remembered October 2nd, 2018 for a long time. And I just remember I went to IHOP that day.
I think I just need to go to IHOP again. Yeah.
Well, you can, man. There's something stopping you.
There really isn't anything stopping me. And like, you know what? I'll go for like, I'll just opt in for it at some point. You know, maybe let's go solo date. You know, it's fine.
Oh, that's something we can talk about. How do you feel about those things?
What, solo dates?
Yeah.
I think they're helpful. I think they're actually pretty nice. Like I've done my fair share of it, either going to a movie by myself or like going like to a dinner by myself. And it's not just because I'm in the middle of something. It's just like, hey, like, you know what? It's just me. It's just my time. And I think they're pretty good. You know, it's good like self-reflection time, of course. And like you can
well, let's start from the beginning. What's the actual
yourself, and it's fine. And
well, what's the exact definition of them?
Oh wait, it broke up. Sorry, one more time.
What's the exact definition of like a solo date?
I mean, definition of a solo date is like you're intentionally go. It's not just like you're in the middle of errands and you go out to a lunch place. No, it's not what it is. It's intentionally you are setting yourself up time like for a dinner to go out, just you. You even like you don't have to dress up, but like some people do, right? And you go and you're just like you're at a table by yourself and like you're just, you know, have a good relationship with a waiter or waitress, whatever it is. And that's it, you know, like, and maybe just like enjoy the atmosphere, like stuff like that. Maybe, you know, maybe people are on their phone, maybe they're not, but the idea is to try to like kind of be in a moment, you know, and just be like a pinpoint and watch like everyone else around you and see what happens.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's made some wave on Instagram or social media where I've heard that, but I was just like, oh, I never really called it that. I just said I'm going to get food or like you
that's
know,
I bet everyone's definition is different. Like maybe this is like going out to people, maybe go out to bars by themselves or like these like tea places. It could be anywhere, honestly. My personal thing is either go to a dinner or go to a movie that no one else wants to watch, but I want to watch, like, or something.
Okay. I guess in some way you could say I did that last night. I went to the garden last night and saw Elton John.
Oh yeah, that counts. Yeah.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I just know I don't really have any friends that are fans of his. 2, it's like no one really has the money to go do something like that. And then 3, it's like I wanted to see the guy one more time before he wraps up his tour. Because this is his farewell tour. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go do this.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, so I guess you could say it like that, but I mean, I never really thought of it like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I
think it's just solo time too. I mean, like for example, like even last week I went on this like float tank thing. It's kind of like these like spa things where it's like sleep deprivation tanks, and you're just like in these like relaxing Epsom salt pools, and it's just like stuff like that. It's actually really cool. Like,
well, tell me more about. So you did those things? I've heard about them, but I've never.
So this is the second time I've done it, and I still love the Russian bathhouse. Like, I mean, because like we know that vibe over there. But the lift tanks are so it's called lifts, and like they're actually I think they're popping up with a couple other companies now. But like the idea is like it's just these like big like neon blue rooms, and like you're in like your own little chamber. It's either like a pod or like kind of like a big bathtub or something, you know, like whatever. You'll still be able to like lay flat and whatever. And the idea is you just hear this like nice humming music like you would in a massage or a spa or something, and you just sit back and you're floating. And like, you know, and typically you need to like breathe in to like float, like you don't even have to try. And it's kind of like floating on the Dead Sea, right? It's like very dense, salty. You do not want to drink this at all, by the way. It tastes disgusting, but it's just great experience. And like once you just sit there for like 20 minutes, your like body relaxes because the Epsom salt's like infused with your skin. It's a whole thing, and you feel like you can almost sleep in there. And it just like really makes you like feel so relaxed. And then an hour's up, and you have to drink like a lot of water after, and then you're done.
Whoa.
But it's surreal. It's supposed to like de-stress, like lower anxiety, like, you know, just like things like that, you know?
Wow. I mean, this is your first time doing it?
Second time. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, so far it's definitely something like, I mean, I like that more than a massage, to be honest. If I'm paying for like an hour to have relaxation, I'm going for something like that or like a bathhouse, you know?
Yeah. Shit. Wow. I mean, I've heard about those things, but I never, like knew where there was one or really think about it.
There's one in Brooklyn. I went to one on Long Island because I was seeing my family and stuff. But one in Brooklyn, and I think, like I said, I think they're popping up in a bunch of places and they're different company names now, but mostly Long Island, but they're making their way out.
I think one guy I know went to one in Manhattan too.
Yeah, there probably is. I'm not even thinking about it.
Yeah. Wow, that's so crazy. And you just did it because you just wanted to, or did you have a friend that?
Well, I will say, like, how did I hear about it? I heard about it because my aunt actually designed. She's like did interior design and everything.
Mm-hmm.
She designed one of the ones in like Long Island, and like she was telling us about the experience, and I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. And I tried it once, and I was just like, yeah, like this is exactly what it's everything you wanted. Like, and it's just good. Like, it's just supposed to be like really therapeutic, good for mental health, just like awesome stuff. And that is a very important thing to do. So,
yeah, man. Well, you really got into this whole stop and smell the roses. Take care of yourself. Good for you.
It really helped with that.
No. Because what was I telling you like around this time last year? Because when you were ending up NextCore, hey, take time to yourself. Like
I needed
process.
To do, yeah.
Well, I was actually. I mean, I'm not saying you did it because.
It was it was really just like an eye opener to just things for self, and I was realizing that and trust me, it like needed to happen to be able to unlock this, and like it's good, and like little bits have happened, like switching up the way I was doing business, the Italy thing, the way that I was like interacting with my friends, my girlfriend, it's like stuff was slowing down, just enjoying moments. That's really a thing that is just like it's good. It really is.
Yeah, man. I mean, I always said that. I think I even said that to your face, like, yo, dude, don't spread yourself too thin. I mean,
I've heard that my whole life, and I finally realizing it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, dude, like I get it, and I'm kind of in that boat now too, where now I'm doing this and getting on shows, and I told you did I tell you I'm going on the road too?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm doing that, all that stuff now, and and I mean going to the gym, and and even that, and then going and still got my day job, so it's like I got a lot going on. So I never really, the only time I ever really rest is when I go to sleep, and sometimes that's 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. So got grinding in that hustle life, man. So
yeah, I mean, exactly.
But good for you, man. I mean, that's good. You take time. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I mean, like, I'm just stoked to, do, and it's good too, because like when you have your you time, it's like, what, you did a good job in the business end, and like I was like, all right, today's been a good day, and then I'll watch some Law and Order later or whatever and be okay today, and that's good. It's not just like I'm cranking out till midnight now, and I think age also impacts that too.
We're still young.
But more or less I lead it to the experiences. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, with Italy, it really gave me perspective.
Oh, good shit, man. I mean, that's nuts. That's nuts. Shit.
It is pretty nuts. Like,
I just say that because wow, we really are. Times. I mean, I'm not getting schmaltzy here, but it's like I mean, we've known each other for almost 10 years now.
I know. Wait, is that actually a decade? Yeah, you're
almost,
right.
Man. Yeah,
almost a decade.
Yeah, dude, because we were in a.
It would have been technically like January or February, like 2013 or something. Like it was like radio station time area like that.
Well, yeah, actually, good point. When did I meet you? I knew you like a semester before we did the screening room. So we went ape shit on that thing November. So going into like
but we were like in like a training class and stuff.
Yeah, because I remember
too. So like,
I remember you and I hanging out. Yeah, before that.
Oh shit, we're gonna have to do something for 10 years, man. That's gonna be pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, no. We gotta get like some kind of medal or something from that.
I like here, winner. The winner medal right here. Winner for being a friend all these years, all this time. So
congratulations.
Yeah.
Between the two of us. No, Actually, I was thinking about like the guys over at WRHU too the other day because John Mullen, we're friends on Facebook, and
yeah,
who's a good guy, and he liked a picture of me doing stand up. And so I was like, oh yeah, he's in the picture, and look at me now. I'm still doing all that stuff that you and I do.
Still doing mics, but different types of mics.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Which is, it's true. I still still like still like expressing community. Yeah, like I totally get it.
Oh, you're talking about me doing stand up? I mean, I'll still do mics, but I'm just doing that to work out new material. But
I just meant like the literal means of being in front of a mic.
Oh yeah,
because radio, but you know what I mean. Like,
oh yeah, that's a good point, man. I didn't think about that. Yeah. No, you're still on a microphone, man. In a weird way. No,
exactly. The means to communicate and express to the public never leaves you, I guess, after you do it once.
Well, yeah, dude. When you're a guy who just communicates, for people, it's hard to end that out. Yeah. Give me 1 second. I got to charge. Probably get my phone now. Not my phone. My laptop. Give me 1 second.
That's fine. Oh yeah, you're okay.
All right, cool. So, with the time, I mean, we talked for a while, but I wanted to ask you just some stuff. Maybe goes down to your expertise here, and new media and stuff like that. Tell just how you as a guy who sees tech and works with technology and stuff like that. And now we got like Instagram and Instagram Reels, and I guess maybe preface what I'm kind of talking about now, because now that we're doing this podcast, and the idea of doing the video stuff, really, you get it online, people see it, and it's a little bit more of a promo for go listen or watch the entire episode.
Right.
How do you? Maybe I'll do a broader one. I'll go to more specific, but how do you see like entertainment and content consumption going in a long period in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, yeah, I was gonna say like you can't put it too far out because it will probably change so drastically. But I mean, clearly we know we're going to whole D2C, direct to consumer, is like huge. My thought is we're only growing on the side of social media. That's only going to grow from TikTok, Instagram, shorter form content, shorter form this. Grab the information while like we're doing many busy things. We can always like zone out, go back in and into the land of friends and family and like whatever's going on in life or whatever's being fed to us, and it's going to come back out. So getting to the point. So I'll say a couple things. One, getting to the point quicker, getting to the emotion quicker. So like if it's like a business thing and it's an ad, getting to that quicker. Two, if it's an entertainment thing, getting to like the comedies are like, well, not just comedy, but like getting to the entertainment or the laughter part quicker too. Which is just like, and you'll see this with vlogs too. Like you'll see like the most extreme thing or the most funny thing, and then they show the whole vlog afterward, but they're definitely like cueing a teaser in the first 3 to 5 seconds. And that's definitely just a notion in general that happens with content nowadays. So my gut is saying that the next 5 years, people are going to find more and more ways to keep on the app side. People are going to find more and more ways to go streaming. Twitch might increase more on like their original content. And like, I know they're doing like stuff with like live streaming there. I think also from a content side, people are going to go more original too, because they realize that the movie industry is one thing, and there's a lot of repeats, a lot of sequels, like things that, and people are relating to TV and Netflix and stuff like that more for like original new spicy stories, reality TV, whatever it is, superhero stuff. I mean, well, actually movies still have that too, but like,
yeah, I think
like, but you are but like CW's got like stuff like that. And then, so I can really see that just happening more and more to the point where it's really going to knock out a lot of different things like regular television. I mean, I don't want to say like it's got to knock out permanently, but it's going to play a big arms race against the cable companies. It really is. And like same with podcasts. Podcasts are in the realm of audio too. And like stuff like this, like is going to really, really pull the arms race to radio. It really is. So I just see a lot of transitional things, a lot of like, I hope newer technology when it comes to streaming, like Zoom becoming better, like less glitchy, or not just Zoom, but like anything in an online sphere, like StreamYard, Twitch, like all these like things that can make you be in real time, are just going to happen more. And people want to be in the moment at that moment, or at least see a clip of it before. And that's really where it's going nowadays, I think.
Yeah, I can just speak as a consumer here. You know, I'll listen to watching, I'll just say it, Joe Rogan, fan of his podcast, but I mean, I do like a little bit of taste of like of the clips that he posts, and a lot of other people do too, not just him, but the clips that he posts. And then from there, you're like, okay, I want to see the rest of that. Do you ever feel concerned about like how you talk about the arms race with other media and like, that people just having less attention span for like feature films, or
I will say it's getting shorter and shorter. As for the feature, I mean, in general, attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. The amount of content, like, it's kind of like this weird relationship, you know, on the visual side, you're seeing it here on Zoom, but as content goes up, our time is constant, right? As content goes up, there's only so much we can absorb at a given time. And also things are just getting busier in like day-to-day life. People need side hustles. They need multiple jobs to make an income. So it's like, what happens? So, you know, we're talking about like an increase in content to an exponential level because people are becoming influencers more and like putting out content more, and several other distribution things that like my brain as a human being can only take so much of it, you know? And I just say that for me and or other people who are consumers out there. So the short attention span is going to be a thing. And you were saying about for feature film, I think people will still appreciate feature films, but I feel with feature films that there's going to be two different types. Why did the superhero ones do well? Why did those like big flick box office things happen? Because there's movement, and movement is the second part of this. Is that people will have short attention spans, and unless there's movement in it, it's going to be tough to keep the eyeballs. So that's why the big movies, like big explosions, action stuff, like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson being everywhere on your freaking screen is going to make sense. Or superhero, Marvel, DC, like all that stuff is hype. It's good, but it's a lot of movement, action, and thrill and stuff like that. And that's great. And like, yeah, you're still going to get like Oscar stuff, and then maybe a slower film or more artistic, and like those will have its place too, and those get awarded for storytelling and things, but that's not like a major audience compared to the stuff that's really like the majority, you know?
Oh yeah, and
that's my take on it.
No, it's interesting because I mean, one, I was watching the trailer for Doctor Strange too.
Yeah.
And I was
right,
just like,
which is pretty epic. I mean, I'm looking forward to that too.
Well, I mean, I personally, I think I'm done with the Marvel stuff. I enjoyed it for what it was till now, but I was watching it and just like, yeah, it's a theme park ride.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure there's a lot of, Sam Raimi, the guy who made it. He's a good filmmaker, and he's so I'm sure he's putting his own thing on it that'll be entertaining. But I'm watching it as a consumer. I'm just like, yeah, like all this like explosions and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I totally see when like there was that whole debacle with or outrage, I would just say, with like Scorsese saying like paraphrasing this cinema is dying, that whole concept of like theme park rides or the Marvel thing. He had a point there. If you just compare it to the films that he and his peers made in the 70s to like what they're making now, it's different.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll still think they still have a place, but yeah, okay. And I remember when we were doing Screening Room too.
They will, and I don't think, yeah, because like there always is going to be like, I feel like it's going to be less and less, but like, there's still going to be an audience where it's like it's definitely a concern for the future though, because like I wonder about the stories that we tell. It's not always like, because like these stories, the things we see are not just like we're getting thrill, we're getting excitement, but we're getting that dopamine rush and like all that stuff. But that's not all of what life is, and that's the thing. There's stories that have sadness, that have fear, that have other emotions, rather than just this kind of like base layer stuff, which is what you'll, and some I'm not saying like that's like all stories, but I feel like that's just like the main. I'm talking about the majority of things here, you know, because like Netflix can like make Squid Games and like make it like very petrifying and make it incredible content. Which, by the way, I watched that in Italy and it was quite a time to watch that. But and I liked it though. I did.
Yeah.
And people are gonna get creative like that, and but like it's just like keeping in mind that like there is still a beauty to like certain types of content, even if they don't have as much movement. It's still definitely something to pay attention to or watch once in a while. That's like my take on it, you know.
Oh yeah, you have to. I mean, I'm pretty sure that new movie, The Batman, that's coming out, that's not gonna be Doctor Strange 2. You know, it's not gonna be.
I mean, but I am looking forward to like. I mean, but yeah, it's still like a hype movie. It's still superhero stuff, and it's like, but I am looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Judging by what it's being made, everything I've seen of it, it's going to be more of a suspense. I mean,
yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie
Might be a more dramatic approach, like more Dark Knight-esque. I'm curious to see what they do with it.
Right, but even you can agree with me that that's going to have less motion than, say,
agree.
The Avengers. Yeah, so
make it very flashy. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. That's interesting too. And how do you feel about, I was asking somebody about TikTok and how it's like this entire idea of like there's a big hesitation with people using TikTok, not only because it sounded like it was just for kids, you know, like doing twerking videos, but at the same time it was like the idea of like the data mining, like people going on this on TikTok and just like whatever kind of content they produce is being seen by somebody else and like taking and collected it to being able to be marketed stuff too, and take like whole understanding of human culture, basically your privacy, your computer and phone being monitored to be able just to hack and understand and change an algorithm and see this stuff. And I don't know what else they'd be using it for, but they're collecting data on what we do on our phones and stuff like that. And basically it feels like everything we're watching, everything we're doing is being monitored by a company. And then the idea of like being like told like, oh, this algorithm is going to shoot more videos to you. Do you have any fears about that, or am I
about like what companies are doing on a social media side?
Yeah.
There's an there's an entire documentary just based on this on I think on Netflix that I watched.
Social Dilemma.
Social Dilemma.
Yeah.
Love that. Gives a lot of perspective, because even the people who like work at Google and work at these places, they're just like, yeah, like what's being built here? Like they even have questions. So it's like so that's my take on it. I get what it's doing. Is it really the best for society? Not as much as you think, because here's the thing. And the reason I say that is because I get where the company wants to benefit. They want as many eyeballs for as long as possible in a given time. If I'm doing 90 minutes a day on Instagram, hypothetically, right? That means in 90 minutes, Instagram can push X amount of ads, which means Instagram makes X amount of money. Mm-hmm. So if I can make that 95 minutes a day and get people more addicted, then like that means Instagram gets to push more ads, which means they make more money. Mm-hmm. You get the gist, right? So they're going to push algorithms that, you know, they see something that you like. They're watching every single second of a video that you're watching. They're looking at how often or like how long you're sitting on like a hot girl and like not scrolling, but you're doing that, you're liking it, and you're just looking at the picture. Like they check that stuff. And not just a hot girl, but you get
yeah. No, I'm just, you know,
but like, yeah, like they're constantly doing that, and like they're feeding this data. And my take on it is like they're only going to do it because they're a company at the end of the day, and they're going to want to keep you on the platform as long as possible. And you wonder about like, will they ever have a concern about the end user? And I wonder if like there's times where like, imagine a world where Facebook or Instagram or any social media platform actually did care, and they actually were like, hey, you know what? You've been scrolling for like an hour, right? And they throw a little notification up. And I actually thought about this like a while ago. They throw a little notification up being like, hey, take a break. They won't do that though, because money.
Yeah.
But imagine if they did, right? And it's just like, you know, like, just, I don't know, like you could even just sit on that. There's not really a particular answer to thing I just made a hypothetical for, but like, imagine that. Like, imagine a world where like it was kind of more like a central kind of like, not just so company thing. It's more like a public kind of like democracy of said social media. But like, you think it's like more bureaucratic rather than democratic, and like whatever. It's a whole thing.
All right, cool, man. Well, I guess I kept you too long. I'm starving.
That's all. I love talking, man. It's all good.
Yeah, man. I wanted us to be able just to catch up, but also just you're giving us a lot of good content for clips, honestly.
Of course.
Yeah, man. All right. Let me know when you want to hit up Wall Street Beth sometime.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, we got to do that very soon. Actually, I would definitely like to do that very soon. So
yeah, just let me know. I mean, I don't know what your life is like day to day, but yeah, keep me posted. All right, man. See you next week. Goodbye. Take it, Chelsea.